We are so back, it's so over. We are so back, it's so over. This is the Ferrari Experience, a complete emotional roller coaster that goes up and down and merry-go-round. But this is only through a Ferrari fan's perspective. Now this is the Ferrari Experience through a Ferrari driver's perspective. Pure utter suffering even if good things happen. See, after years of looking at Ferrari's performance in Formula 1, I can confidently say that Ferrari is a team of constant ups and downs. But as much as there are ups, the downs are the ones with the lasting effects, especially on their drivers. Felipe Massa looked like he was gonna win in 2008 until a slow Glock got overtaken by Lewis Hamilton, making McLaren champions by a point. Result, Felipe's hairline was never the same again. Then Fernando Alonso won so many races in 2010 and 2012, but still lost both championships to Sebastian Vettel by at least 3 points. Result, Fernando's iconic stare of doom and despair. Then Sebastian Vettel joins Ferrari, had potential to win in 2017 and 2018, but as mistake after mistakes happened, he lost. Result, Sebastian was never the same again, and so was his hairline. Then Carlos Sainz joins the team, wins multiple races, and became the only non-Red Bull driver to win in 2023. But then Ferrari blew his car up, fired him, and pissed on his grave. Result, another case of premature balding. I'm joking, Carlos fans, this picture is edited. Thank fucking God. And finally, Charles Leclerc looked like he was gonna win in 2022, but then Ferrari did their usual circus show. Result, it traumatized Charles so hard that he had nightmares about pit stops.
Oui, oui, mais je dormais et je me suis réveillé dans un cauchemar.
Et t'as crié
Box, box.
Box now, box now, box for hard. Stay out, stay out, stay out.
Fuck! Why? What happened?
Tire, position 5.
And this Ferrari Experience has yet claimed another victim, Lewis Hamilton, who has since 2025 joined Ferrari and immediately felt the effects of what it's like to be a Ferrari driver on debut. Where in the first race of the season, Australia 2025, after aura farming so hard before the season started, Ferrari qualified behind Williams, VCarb, and Mercedes. The team Lewis left because he thought that they were going to be slower. However, as an excuse, Ferrari did run a wet weather setup during qualifying, so maybe that's the reason for poor performance. But then the race started. All of my possible excuses were thrown out the window, because when the race began, the track was flooding with water, which resulted in Isaac Hadjar, Carlos Sainz, and Jack Doohan crashing almost immediately. Then my favorite rookie crashed on lap 30, and this is where it gets interesting. After Fernando crashed, a safety car was brought out, which had everyone on slicks, but after 9 laps, it started raining again. And so everyone pitted. But Ferrari decided to stay out on hards. This was when I knew it was over, because Ferrari has done this way too many times. Canada 2024, Hungary 2022. Whenever Ferrari puts their drivers on hards, you know it's gonna be a bad day. And it does become one when Liam Perez crashes into the barriers, bringing out a safety car. And Ferrari pitted so late that they came out in 9th and 10th. But just before you'd think that this was Ferrari at its peak clown levels, just a couple of laps earlier before it started raining hard, Charles Leclerc and his race engineer gave us this iconic Ferrari team radio moment.
Even with DRS, it's proving really difficult for Hamilton.
Is there a leakage?
A leakage of what?
I have the seat full of water, like full of water.
Must be the water.
Let's add that to the words of wisdom.
This man really said it must be the water. Amazing work, Ferrari engineers. I did not know that water is wet, the sky is blue, and tires are round. How insightful. I swear Ferrari team radio is so bad that Charles could be in Saddam Hussein's little hiding place, have water filling the cave, drowning him, and his engineer would just say, "It must be the water." And Lewis Hamilton was also being bombarded by his race engineer, constantly telling him to press the K1 overtake button.
Can you use K1, may you close?
Can you do it, please?
K1 available?
Yes, I know. Leave me to it, please.
Try to hold the K1. That's for practice. I know it's difficult.
I'm not close enough.
Copy.
I'm not close enough. I'm close, so I'll do it.
Like, they're assuming Lewis Hamilton, the 40-year-old grown-ass man, is a 2-month-old baby driving a Formula 1 car for the first time. So Chuck Leclerc and Lewis Badminton finished in 8th and 10th, while Alex Albon, Baby Stroll, Nico Hulkenberg finished ahead of them, and Oscar Piastri, even after spinning out of the race for a solid 2 minutes, still finished ahead of Lewis in P9. And Kimi Tortellini, after nearly bottling his debut, finished in P4. I have to say, Lewis really did experience all of the years of Ferrari torment in just one race. While for Charles, it was just another Sunday. But I find it so funny how Ferrari hyped themselves up so hard just for both of their drivers to be behind Lance Stroll in the championship. That might be the most Ferrari thing ever.
We're gonna win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. It's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. What the fuck is going on?
But as I said earlier, the Ferrari experience is a down but also up mess, because as soon as F1 went to China, Lewis Hamilton took pole in sprint qualifying and won the race. A completely opposite experience that he had a week ago. But then the actual race started, and Ferrari was so back to being shit. Throughout the entire race, Lewis and Charles were busy spending time in the midfield and finished the race in P5 and P6, while Haas was in P7 and Mercedes was on the podium. However, I think the ultimate loser of this race wasn't actually Ferrari, but Fernando Alonso retiring thanks to a brake failure, which I am never gonna forgive Aston Martin for. But a couple of hours after the race finished, just before you'd think Fernando had it bad, it was then announced that Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton were disqualified from the race for having cars that didn't follow the regulations. Once more, amazing work, Ferrari. Did you guys calculate the dimensions of your cars with pasta instead of a fucking ruler? Like, this is so stupid. Just before you'd think Ferrari couldn't be more ass, they get shittier.
When they go low, I go lower.
And this is the up and down experience I was talking about. Lewis Hamilton went from winning to having it so bad that he recreated Alonso's 2012 stare and completely forgot how to form a sentence.
McLaren and Mercedes
Keep in mind, this was after his second ever race with Ferrari. At this rate, the man is going to go bald again. However, Ferrari thankfully wasn't as bad as Liam Slowson, who has incredibly done a P20 hot streak in qualifying in his 2 ever races for Red Bull. Now, I do know that it's probably because the second Red Bull car is undrivable, but honestly, what the fuck is that?
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
And this is where I finally get to talk about someone in my area of expertise. Helmut Marko, aka the dried up nutsack who was responsible for putting Liam in Red Bull just to replace him after 2 races. Now, this man is Red Bull's chief headhunter who decides who gets a seat and is also known for some of the most horrible takes in Formula 1. Like, he literally said that Isaac Hadjar crying after he bottled it on the formation lap in Australia was embarrassing. Grandpa, you are the real embarrassment of Red Bull. Helmut Marko's comments are so hateful and stupid that if you told me tweets from Kanye West actually came from him, I'd believe you. I turned down 3 photos this week with Make-A-Wish kids in wheelchairs. Yup, definitely something Helmut Marko would say, because Grandpa Marko is the type of guy to not hire Joe Guanyu because he thinks he's gonna eat his dogs, put Liam in RB before Yuki because this is what he assumes Yuki sees in a Formula 1 car, criticize Sergio Perez because he's Mexican, and not hire Lewis Hamilton because he believes that he's gonna steal something. Like, I am 90% sure Helmut Marko is the same guy who screamed slurs on a plane wearing a Burger King hat. And also, Grandpa himself probably has it worse, because he actually looks like he's been living off of dog flesh, has stolen a lot of people's joy for Formula 1, and unlike his racist perceptions of Checo and possibly Yuki, this is what Helmut sees in a Formula 1 car. Notice how it's black? Because he was so fucking blind to not consider Yuki in the first place. So time to go to bed, Grandpa. Time to go to bed. Now, with all that being said, my point is, I do not care if Red Bull or Christian Horny really doesn't want Yuki in the second seat because he can't molest him like he does with all his other co-workers. Talent of Yuki's level needs to be put in a competitive car, period. Honestly though, get him out of Red Bull because they don't deserve Yuki at all, let alone Max. But going back to Ferrari, they are clearly being held back by a number of things, which is why I have done thorough research and created a list of the main culprits behind Ferrari's fuck-ups. Culprit number 1, race engineers, the ones solely responsible for your favorite Ferrari team radio moments, such as saying "we are checking" as Carlos Sainz's car blows up, saying Charles would be in P1 if he stays in first place.
If we stay at this pace, what are we looking for in terms of position?
If we can keep Bottas behind P1.
Wow, how insightful. And said stop the car as Sebastian Vettel's brakes failed.
Brakes failed. The brakes failed. Brakes failed. No more brake pedal. Brake line exploded.
He's making up for that at the moment.
Need to stop, charge button on.
I can literally not stop the car, so I have to wait.
We wanted to get racing with the Ferraris. Oh, and Sebastian Vettel locks up, goes straight through.
Amazing, Ferrari. Telling your driver to stop the car as he's plowing through the runoff area. Again, how insightful. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I believe that Ferrari engineers are actually AI generated. Like, they might just have brain chips installed, programmed with ChatGPT.
Hey Siri, how much is 1/5? Hey Siri, how much is one fourth
1
of?
plus 1 over 4 is 1.25.
Hey Siri.
Please try again in a moment.
Hey Siri.
But the thing is, I think Ferrari engineers might be stupider than AI, which is why I'm now going to ask ChatGPT itself about what it thinks Ferrari engineers should have done during all of their fuck-ups. So ChatGPT, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Rick. What I think Ferrari should have done was to actually hire competent race engineers that are human beings instead of AI robots manufactured in Maranello, improve their pit stop times, and not make their drivers stay out on hards while it's pouring rain. Because I am not like those dumbass fuckers on the pit lane wearing red thinking that they can see the future.
Thank you, ChatGPT. It's almost like I said it myself. Now, culprit number 2, race strategy. Once again, I think is AI generated. I always find it so impressive how Ferrari engineers manage to give less information after saying paragraphs of words. Lewis asked his race engineer when the rain started pouring in Australia. He asked, "Is there more rain coming?" And he got a response saying negative, hopefully, let's see, it is still raining in the pit lane. That might be a worse response than just getting no response at all.
Is more rain coming?
Negative. Just this. Hopefully. Let's see. Still raining in the pit lane.
I am starting to believe that Ferrari engineers are in fact manufactured in OpenAI power plants where they are programmed with chips that have to give out a specific response when they are being questioned, which is why we only see the words "we are checking" from a Ferrari race engineer. It's like if an AI tells you, "Hold on, we are generating you a response." Like, does that not sound convincing enough? Culprit number 3, incompetence. Ferrari is the most incompetent team in Formula 1. In 2019, they had a pretty questionable engine that made the SF90 a piss missile on the straights, and yet they barely won any races. They constantly send their drivers out on qualifying laps when there's a shit ton of traffic. They had Charles disqualified from the 2023 US Grand Prix for the car breaching regulations, and had the exact same thing happen again in China 2025.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
And let's obviously not forget the brilliant, lightning-quick pit stops that they're able to pull off.
And this is the Ferrari pit stop when they weren't ready. Look, they're not even there. There's not a single intermediate tyre in sight.
They came in, whether that was...
So in summary, Ferrari's race engineers are AI robots programmed with Ferrari GPT. I won't be surprised if they use AI to come up with race strategies, and they also have zero competence. And all of this causes ups and downs in the Ferrari experience. Like Charles winning in Monaco just for Ferrari to get a double disqualification about a week later. It's always an up and down mess, whether it's years apart, months apart, or race weekends apart. And this has especially taken a toll on Charles Leclerc. And since I'm a professional F1 yapper, I again did thorough research to uncover just how much Ferrari has affected Charles by asking a Charles Leclerc AI chatbot about what he thinks about his time at Ferrari. So Charles, go ahead. How would you describe your Ferrari experience?
All I have to say is, please let me go from this team. I cannot take it anymore. Ferrari strategies are abysmal and I might want to end it all.
Okay, I think he's in slight discomfort. Oh, and the Ferrari experience has also affected Ferrari fans the most, that have since turned into the most delusional people I know. Like, Ferrari fans thinking they still had a chance in 2022 was more delusional than the Germans thinking that they were gonna win World War II despite Berlin getting blown to pieces from both sides. And I do understand a Ferrari fan's pain. It's dreadful. Because thinking Ferrari is going to win, but then they don't, is like getting catfished by a chick who claims to be an actress, but the only show she's been on is 600 Pound Life on TLC. But to make everyone feel better, let's see how Team LH is coping with the sudden Ferrari experience.
This wasn't on you. This isn't the debut you deserved, but we will be back.
You'll be back next week, champ.
And we have no doubt you will kill it.
Just so you guys know, these were comments made in Australia, so to everyone saying that it was gonna be different next week, it indeed was, except he got fucking disqualified. But, well, at least they aren't in their suicidal phase. Yet. See, Ferrari fans are also some of the most artistic people I know, because they've been able to paint their ceilings with their brains like Kurt Cobain. But when Ferrari fans don't get catfished, and Ferrari does have its ups, it's a really good feeling. Problem is, it feels like it happens only once in a blue moon, and this is because Ferrari only performs well when their drivers do everybody else's job. Ferrari driver needs to do to succeed is to be the engineer, driver, strategist, pit crew, pit wall, mechanic, and heck, even the marketing team. Now, of course, if the team is so bad, why do drivers bother to even drive for them? That is the million-dollar question. Why would anyone bother to be a Ferrari driver if they're so shit? And the boring answer would be, oh, it's a very historical team, blah blah blah, someone shoot me in the head. Whereas the real answer is because if they are able to persist through all the fuck-ups and become a world champion, it's gonna feel like nutting 5 times at once. Being a Ferrari champ is more rewarding than being a champion in any other team in the top 5. Change my mind. Actually, it's kind of like being a champion in Red Bull's second seat while Max Verstappen exists. But to cheer up all the Ferrari fans watching this video that hopefully haven't ended at all, I want to talk about the F1 people I've mentioned in this video as things to never say to someone who just came out. Now, this might seem in no way related to this video, but let me cook. Starting with, "Hi gay, I'm dad," is 100% something Valtteri Bottas would say. "This has been so obvious ever since I started stalking you," is what Christian Horny would say. Next, "I was planning to come out this very moment and you just stole my thunder," is something Yuki Tsunoda would say about Pierre Gasly. Toto Wolff, on the other hand, is the type of guy to go, "Would you like to go on the record stating that for our organization's diversity initiative?" And "I knew the second you told me you were gay," is something Helmut Marko would say. Because if he can't racially profile you, he would sexually profile you. And last but not the least, Max Verstappen is the type of guy to go, "I'm gayer." Now that is what I call insightful. Take that, Ferrari.
When they go low, I go lower.